You are surrounded by noise. Your mind is filled with distractions, and your spirit is weakened by it, because you can't sit alone with yourself. Marcus Aurelius said it well. Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions, than your own soul. Yet, most of us are terrified of that solitude. Why? Because in silence, you confront your true self, your fears, your weaknesses. In this video, I will show you how embracing solitude can transform you. You'll learn to find strength in isolation and quiet the chaos inside you. Embrace the silence within. I want you to pause right now and comment, "Embrace the silence within," below. Write it. Own it. Let every like on your comment remind you of this promise. If you think you are ready to face your own mind, prepare for what's coming next. Law 1. The Fortress of Silence. This next part might make you uncomfortable. Good. Imagine a young Roman soldier, tired from the battlefield, seeking wisdom from an emperor. This soldier visits Marcus Aurelius. Instead of a lecture filled with strategies and tactics, Marcus gives him a simple task. He tells him to sit alone in his tent. No sounds of weapons clashing, no roaring of the crowd, just silence. Why does Marcus do this? Because he knows what few understand. True power comes from within. True power is born in silence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. It requires facing challenges head-on, not avoiding them. And silence is your practice ground. Silence is where you wrestle with your inner demons. In the quiet, you are forced to meet your doubts and fears, the parts of you that need to grow stronger. But most run from this. They fill every moment with noise and distractions. Music in the ears, endless scrolling on phones, constant chatter. But here is the part nobody talks about. Silence is not your enemy. It is your fortress, a place to retreat and rebuild your strength. Think of a modern scenario. You get home after a frustrating day at work. You feel the urge to turn on the TV or scroll through social media. But what if you chose silence instead? No screens, no noise, just you, alone with your thoughts. In those moments, you could ask yourself, why did I feel frustrated today? You might find the answers buried in the silence. Answers that lead to solutions and personal growth. Now pay attention. This is the real lesson. Silence is not just the absence of sound. It's the presence of self. It's an active choice to listen to your own mind, to understand your emotions without distractions. Epictetus taught, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Silence helps you master yourself. When you are at peace with who you are, no chaos outside can disturb you. Here's your action step. Tonight, sit alone for 10 minutes. No phone, no noise, just you and your thoughts. Reflect on your day. Notice what comes up. And if this is hitting different right now, do one thing for me. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me, for the version of you that needs this reminder next week. Most people stop here. Do not be most people. Your journey into the fortress of silence begins now. But knowing this alone is not enough, because there is something even more dangerous. Law 2, the Mirror of Introspection. Pay close attention to this. It will save you years. Now here is where most people completely fall apart. Introspection. It's easy to point fingers at the world. It's much harder to look in the mirror and ask the difficult questions. But this is what separates the strong from the weak. Let's talk about Marcus Aurelius. Imagine a leader of an empire who faced war, betrayal, and personal loss. Yet, in his private writings, he practiced reflection. In the Meditations, he wrote, "Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look." What does this mean? It means that within you lies the power to find strength. This strength grows when you dare to look inward and face your truth. Picture this. You walk through your day filled with stress, feeling overwhelmed. You blame your boss, the traffic, the weather. But the real battle is within you. And here's the dangerous part. If you ignore this mirror, you let these feelings control you. But here is the part nobody talks about. You have the power to change this. Tonight, After your 10 minutes of silence, stay in that space a little longer. Ask yourself, what did I learn about myself today? Write down your thoughts. Don't hold back. This is your chance to be brutally honest. This act of introspection is where true growth begins. It is not for the faint of heart, but it is necessary. And if this is hitting different right now, do one thing for me. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me, for the version of you that needs this reminder next week. This practice will build your mental muscles every day. You will learn what drives you and what holds you back. Do not let the world distract you from this powerful tool. But knowing this alone is not enough, because there is something even more dangerous. Law 3, the void of discomfort. This next part might make you uncomfortable. Good. In a world that never stops, standing still feels like a sin. Yet, the great Stoics knew the value of sitting alone. Marcus Aurelius, even amidst the chaos of battle, would retreat into his thoughts. Imagine him in his tent, pen in hand, writing about the vastness of his own mind. He knew that the real enemy wasn't outside. It was the storm within. Pay close attention to this. It will save you years. Consider the life of Diogenes, a man who chose a barrel over a palace. Born in Sinope, he famously wandered Athens with nothing but a lamp, searching for an honest man. He lived with nothing, but had everything he needed inside his mind. Diogenes understood a crucial truth. The void of discomfort isn't something to flee from. It's something to embrace. Now, what is this void? It's the empty space you often fill with distractions. Your phone, the news, and even the constant need to stay busy. It's the silence you avoid because it forces you to face yourself. Seneca said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." This quote reminds us that growth happens when we face what we fear. Discomfort is your teacher. It shows you your limits and demands that you push through them. Most people stop here. Do not be most people. Your task is simple, but not easy. Find a quiet space each day and sit. Just sit. No phone, no music, nothing but your breathing. Start with 5 minutes and build from there. Feel the discomfort. Let it pass. Then write down what comes up. What truths do you uncover about yourself? If this is hitting different right now, do one thing for me. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me, for the version of you that needs this reminder next week. Embrace the void. It is not empty. It is full of discoveries waiting for you. The strength you seek is hidden in your willingness to be uncomfortable. Now that you understand this, let me show you the weapon that makes it stick. Law 4, the Shield of Indifference. This next part might make you uncomfortable. Good. It's time to talk about the Shield of Indifference, a weapon sharper than any sword. Picture Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, sitting in his tent before battle. He had everything: power, wealth, armies. Yet he knew none of it mattered if he lost himself to the chaos outside. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Marcus understood that the real battle was not with his enemies. It was with his reactions. He used indifference as a shield, a barrier against the noise and chaos. Now, imagine you are in the middle of a storm. Your life feels upside down. The world demands your attention, tells you what to feel. It shoves you around like a leaf in the wind. But here's the truth nobody talks about. You do not have to let it. Indifference doesn't mean you don't care. It means you choose what deserves your care. The Stoics taught that most things do not. Like Marcus, you can choose where to place your focus. Seneca put it simply, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." When you realize that your mind is your domain, you find a strength that nothing external can shake. You learn to let go of what doesn't matter. You become unshakable. Now pay attention. This is the real lesson. Tonight, think about one thing that took your peace today. Write it down. Then ask yourself, does this really matter? If not, let it go. Visualize your mind as a fortress. Strong, calm, indifferent to what doesn't count. If this is hitting different right now, do one thing for me. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me, for the version of you that needs this reminder next week. Now, back to the shield. Building it is not a one-time thing. It takes practice. Every time you face a storm, remind yourself, I control my response, and my response alone. But knowing this alone is not enough, because there is something even more dangerous. Law 5, the anchor of presence. This next part might make you uncomfortable. Good. Growth never comes from comfort. Picture this. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, sat in his tent. The world outside roared with the sound of battle. But inside, he was silent, writing his thoughts as if the chaos didn't exist. Marcus understood the power of presence. He knew that true strength comes from being anchored in the present moment, not swept away by the noise around him. Marcus wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." What did he mean? Simple. While you can't control what happens outside, you have complete control over how you stand inside. Now, here's where most people completely fall apart. They live in the past or worry about the future, never fully present. They miss the life that's happening right now, and that's the greatest loss. But here is the part nobody talks about. Being present is not just being mindful. It's a decision to stand firm amidst the storm. Like an anchor holding a ship steady, your presence is your foundation in the chaos. Most people stop here. Do not be most people. Decide right now to make presence your daily practice. How? When you wake up tomorrow, take 5 minutes for silence. No phone, no distractions. Just breathe. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice your surroundings. Reset. Every single day. If this is hitting different right now, do one thing for me. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me. For the version of you that needs this reminder next week. And this is where it gets dangerous. If you don't anchor yourself in presence, the world will decide your mood for you. You become a puppet to external forces. But you can change this. Remember Marcus's wisdom. Your mind is your own. Make it a sanctuary where presence is the rule, not the exception. Now that you understand this, let me show you the weapon that makes it stick. Law 6, the Beacon of Self-Reliance. This next part might make you uncomfortable. Good. Imagine Epictetus in Rome, a slave by birth but free by choice. He understood a powerful truth that most ignore. His life was not his own, but his mind was. He taught his students that true freedom comes from self-reliance, from knowing that no one can take your inner strength unless you let them. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." What does this mean? It means your freedom is not about your circumstances. It's about owning your mind and your choices, standing firm even when the world around you tries to break you. But here is the part nobody talks about. Self-reliance is not just about independence. It's about trust. Trusting yourself to handle whatever comes your way, because you know you can rely on your own strength. Look around you. Most people run to others for solutions. They seek validation, desperate for someone to tell them what to do, who to be. They fear standing alone because they doubt their own power. But you are not most people. You must be your own anchor. Now pay attention. This is the real lesson. Self-reliance is built in silence and solitude. When you strip away the noise, you confront your fears, your doubts, and you learn that you are stronger than you think. Here's your action. Tonight, before bed, write down 3 things you handled on your own today. Celebrate them. Then, look forward to tomorrow. Choose one new challenge to face without help. It doesn't have to be big. It just needs to be yours. If this is hitting different right now, do one thing for me. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me. For the version of you that needs this reminder next week. Most people stop here. Do not be most people. Embrace the discomfort of self-reliance. It's the only way to truly own your life. But knowing this alone is not enough, because there is something even more dangerous. Law 7, the Throne of Stillness. Now here is where most people completely fall apart. The Throne of Stillness. It is not a place for the faint-hearted. Picture this. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, sitting alone in his tent. His empire threatened by enemies on all sides. Yet, He writes in his journal, calmly reflecting, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." He knew the power of stillness, the chaos of battle outside, but inside, pure calm. Now pay attention. This is the real lesson. Stillness is not about doing nothing. It is about creating space. Space to think. Space to breathe. Space to be. Marcus Aurelius knew that the storm could rage outside, but if he could stay calm inside, nothing could shake him. And this is where it gets dangerous. We live in a world of constant noise. Notifications, messages, opinions shouting at us from every screen. People can't sit alone in a room anymore. They pick up their phones the second it gets quiet. This addiction to noise keeps you weak. It keeps you distracted. Most people stop here. Do not be most people. The Stoics teach us that strength comes from the inside. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom is not found in escape. It is found in stillness. So how do you master yourself? Here's your action. Find a moment today for silence. Just you and your thoughts. No screen. No distractions. Sit with your discomfort. Let it rise. Let it speak. And then let it pass. This practice is your throne. Sit on it daily. If this is hitting different right now, do one thing for me. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me. For the version of you that needs this reminder next week. But knowing this is just the start. Now that you understand this, let me show you the weapon that makes it stick. The final word. You felt the chaos, the relentless pull of distractions, the fear of being alone with your own thoughts. Marcus Aurelius faced the chaos of war, yet he discovered peace within. He knew that if he could stay calm inside, the storms outside would not control him. This is the lesson. Strength is not in what happens to you. Strength is in how you respond. You are weak because you cannot sit alone, but you can change that. Remember, freedom is not an escape. It's found in stillness. Epictetus told us, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mastery begins with silence. In this noise-filled world, dare to be different. Sit with your discomfort. Listen to it. Let it pass. This is how you build inner strength. Declare war on mediocrity. You can conquer the world by conquering yourself first. Choose discipline over distraction. Choose calm over chaos. Subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And I will see you in the next one.